Manjameno,
Ameno,
Manjameno,
Japanese Bara,
Manjameno,
Ameno,
Manjameno,
Japanese Bara,
Manjameno,
Ameno,
Manjameno,
Japanese Bara,
Yana kakuza kulima mabarwe,
Yana kakuza kulima mabarwe,
Yana kakuza kulima.
EarthLore was formed in 2007 and it transitioned in 2015 from working only in Venda, South Africa, to scale up to Mpumalanga province and the Bikita district in southeastern Zimbabwe. EarthLore accompanies traditional communities to revive their indigenous ecological knowledge and governance systems, their seed, traditional food, medicine, and knowledge of all nature of plants and creatures in the wider landscape. The elders share the knowledge embedded in their traditions and in the soil that give life to their ancestors and continue to give life to us. Our work accompanies communities in reconnecting with their soil, their seed, and their culture. This work is exemplified in the annual celebration of Seed and Food Fair in both South Africa and Zimbabwe. The story of the Seed Fair tells the story of EarthLore. EarthLore's journey started with few seed on display at a community dialogue and has evolved over time to plenty, representing the process of bringing back, sharing, and multiplying seed. As different seed and varieties are identified and propagated, the seed and food fairs and exchange visits encourages farmers to share seed that has been lost, thereby expanding the spaces where we see these seeds.
The community dialogue methodology, adopted from the Gaia Foundation's work in the Colombian Amazon, allows the community to remember how, where, when, and by whom traditional practices, ceremonies, and rituals were performed. This is the way it used to be in African communities, where the elders, custodians, and spiritual leaders sat together to reconnect with ancient ancestors of the place. The custodians understood how seed, which is at the center of governing traditional practices in many cultures, is a holistic element. Seed is more than food. It affirms the good relationship between soil, seed, other life forms, and cultural practices. Ceremonies and rituals helped maintain order and balance. Slowly, as communities rediscover their traditions through community dialogues and the reintroduction of lost seed, they discuss how to share the seeds and what important rituals associated with the seed need to be performed. They value their indigenous knowledge that reconnects them with nature. They start reading and remembering forgotten signs on the mountains and in the forests that connects with what is happening in the fields where farming activities are taking place. They begin to recognize when and what work needs to be done, when it is time to prepare the land to receive the seed, when to gather as a community to ask for rain and the blessings of the ancestors for the next planting season, and when is the right time to harvest and to hold rituals to say thank you for the abundant food gathered from the fields and beyond. Communities are remembering the relevance of wild fruit, foods, and medicinal plants, and using all efforts to bring back the rich diversity of the land again. They are working together to plant and protect the wider landscape by reviving traditional practices that govern the harvesting of wild plants. This includes farmers being guided by nature to show respect.
In Bikita, the seed has reignited communal labor called by several Shona names, Jangano, Jagwa, and Numwe, depending on what work is being done. Coming together to share the work makes the cohesion within the community more alive as farmers participate collectively in harvesting, threshing, winnowing, and grinding the millet. There is the revival of songs, of making specially designed baskets and constructing unique structures for the safe storage of these small grains after being harvested. Some communities have revived the rain ritual, bringing back the prominence of sacred seeds like finger millet that were disappearing from the communities. The power of the chants and prayers from the desperate communities echoes from the dry valleys, climbs the hills, crosses over streams, and eventually forms the essence that results in the blessing of rain. And the sacred mountains regain their potency as communities celebrate together. The strengthening of traditional farming governance systems contributes to improved soils and landscapes for the benefit of future generations. Various traditional practices, combined with activities learned from the agroecology training sessions, like making biofertilizers, are bringing back soil fertility. Communities are also coming together to dig contours and water storage pits to prevent soil erosion and protect their fields from runoff during the extreme floods that are becoming a regular occurrence. The harvested water is used to irrigate their crops during periods of drought.
In Mpumalanga and Venda, farmers are committed to increasing and multiplying the diversity of local seed and reviving ceremonies. Elders, as holders of community knowledge, are leading the revival of different rituals for honoring the seed and the crops that are harvested, like biting or first fruits ritual. They let nature and the ancestors eat first, and then the whole community is free to eat the crops after the celebration. During the COVID lockdowns, youth attended the dialogues and agroecology training sessions, and through the sharing of intergenerational knowledge, they discovered that they had an interest in their isiSwati culture and in farming as a way of generating income to earn a living. EarthLore works with a diversity of cultures and is being appreciated for reviving the cultures of these different communities in Southern Africa that builds confidence and connection. The practice and uptake of the work differ from community to community, but common to all community we work with is culture, indigenous knowledge, the selecting, storing, and sharing of seed, rituals and ceremonies, and working together. Many communities approach EarthLore to work with them when they see the results in their neighboring communities. Our work is growing organically as more and more farmers attend our seed fair celebration, exchange visits, dialogues, agroecology training sessions, rituals, and ceremonies. We are grateful to know that our work helps to safeguard the community we work with against hunger during droughts and storms, and builds resilience to deal with emerging challenges like the war in Ukraine and the pandemic like COVID. EarthLore's accompaniment of communities on a journey to remember and revive each tradition in its season and in its own context is a lifelong journey that cannot be reached in one step. Together we create a future we want for our children and all of nature.
Amen.